Raygun is coming to Madison. Raygun is a Midwest-based unionized design and print shop with retail locations in cities across our region, and now Madison. They're opening on State Street this September at the former Paul's Bookstore location. Raygun is proud to support public media, public schools, public lands, and public restrooms. Shop and sign up for their newsletter at raygunsite.com and follow at Raygun Shirts everywhere for new product releases, plus grand opening information for their new location at 670 State Street in Madison. You're invited to Bike the Barns, a one-of-a-kind food and farming adventure taking place on Sunday, September 21st in the Madison area. Hosted by Fair Share CSA Coalition, this fundraising bike ride supports local farmers and fresh food access. With fresh farm foods and drinks, live tunes, and farm tours at each stop, plus all skill levels are welcome because it's a ride, not a race. Spots fill up quickly, so register today at csacoalition.org and pedal together for fresh food for everyone. This is CityCast Madison. I'm Bianca Martin, and here's what Madison's talking about.
There's a crispness in the air, the days are getting shorter, and there are Halloween decorations on display at our local craft stores. Fall is officially on the way, but that is not before Madison squeezes out a few more summer festivals. Taste of Madison is this weekend, and there are still a few more neighborhood fests to help fill your cup. I'm executive producer Haley Sperling, sitting in for Bianca Martin, and with me today to talk about how to eat your way through these festivals the right way is none other than Cap Times food and culture editor Lindsay Christians. Lindsay, welcome back to the show.
Hello.
Always a pleasure to have you here. We're kicking things off today with Taste of Madison, which is running soon, August 30th and 31st. I know you have thoughts. And before we get into all of these hot takes, can you tell us, what are you most excited about this year's Taste event?
So I'm excited about quite a few things. I am happy to report that according to the weather forecast for this weekend, it looks like it's going to be gorgeous. So like 75 high, 72 high, like really pretty, nice sun, which is great because last year's Taste of Madison was hot, hot, hot. I was like dripping. But the Taste of Madison folks do a really cool thing, and that is earlier in the summer, they invite about 200 people over to Bree Stevens Field and they do a little taste of the taste.
I love that. A little taste of taste. And we're not tasting any sweat this year, too. I love that.
It's really nice. And any vendors who want to can basically bring the thing that they're going to be making at Taste of Madison. And I really loved Nema's World Tour last year, and I love them again this year. They were maybe my favorite bite. The carnitas taco won like a blue ribbon from the folks at Taste of Taste, but I really love the Indian butter taco, which is on naan. It's like literally like Indian butter curry, you know, and then it's in a naan wrapper. So it's a little bit more sturdy, delicious.
That sounds amazing. Like a butter like chicken situation?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. That sounds beautiful.
Yeah, it was really good. Also, I'm a big fan at Taste of Madison of things that have like a thing where you can pick it up from the little boat that it comes in. So like the Mediterranean joint is doing a gyro. I always love gyros at things like this. That one is particularly good because I don't know if you know where Mediterranean Joint is on Willie Street. It's like kind of across from Machinery Row. And I always find it kind of more challenging to turn in there than it probably should be. So I don't go as often as I would.
It's so hard. It's so unnecessarily hard. Yes.
It's weird, but their food is really good. And I feel like what Taste of Madison does is it gives you the opportunity to try such a variety of things, right? But also from places that are like, maybe this place is like way out on the west side and you live on the east side like I do. You know, maybe this is a place that's a catering company or just somewhere you wouldn't make it very often. Get the Mediterranean Joint's gyro and it's like an opportunity to have their food without having to like make that weird turn. Last year, I got the chaufa from Circo, which is a Peruvian food cart. This is like basically the food of my childhood, like babysitting food in fried rice. So it's like hot dogs and peas and carrots. Did you ever do the peas and carrots from the frozen bag?
I know like a pea and carrot like corn situation. That it feels like fried rice to me, right?
100%, yes. So it's like that and it's in fried rice and I loved it. It's like it's a little salty rice situation and it's very good and it's like filling in exactly the way that you want it to be. And it's exactly as complicated as you want it to be because the thing about Taste of Madison is you don't get a lot of like super complex flavors because you're eating outside on the Capitol, you know?
Right.
So things have to kind of adapt to that. There's a lot of, and we can talk a little bit more about this later, but there's a lot of African food this year at Taste of Madison. And one that I really liked was like a jollof rice. It's called Benishan. I'm probably saying that incorrectly. I apologize. But it's from the Smiling Coast. It's their little rice dish. It just delicious, like so well made and like soothing. And it goes so well with the other things that you might be having. For example, Roost does these amazing fried chicken sliders. North and South does a smoked brisket slider. I love a pickle on a slider. Yes.
Yum. I'm so hungry already.
Also, like I was looking at the big list and I was like, oh, corn dogs. I'm weirdly into corn dogs. I like corn dogs. I know that they are divisive and not everybody likes a corn dog. My friend who I went to the state fair with was like, oh God, okay.
I love a corn dog. Go off. I love a corn dog.
And they have them at Daddy Rocks and All Star Catering, which again, I feel like the thing about Taste of Madison is it's not a Taste of Madison in that like your favorite neighborhood restaurant is going to be there, because probably not, right?
Right.
It's going to be food carts, catering companies. There are some restaurants like Lombardino's, Tipsy Cow, Monsoon Siam, some of these other places, they do have booths out, right? But it's part of the festival circuit. Right?
Right. So it's sort of a way to get a taste of Madison of places that you wouldn't normally be able to taste unless you really had a special occasion.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think it's probably a good opportunity too. Like if you're like looking for a catering company for something, there's a bunch of them there.
Sure.
I did want to talk about desserts.
Yes. Okay. I'm ready.
So there's this truck. It's Lil Orbit's Mini Donuts. I think it's a franchise or a chain, but they have frozen bananas dipped in chocolate, and I love frozen bananas dipped in chocolate.
It's healthy. It's fruit.
It's fruit. It was my favorite thing to get growing up at Cedar Point. I'm from Ohio, and we go and I get the frozen bananas. They're delicious. At Taste of Taste, we tried Auntie Jill's frozen cheesecake on a stick, and I was skeptical, and it's really good.
This is giving me like Minnesota State Fair vibes.
Yeah.
You know, I'm from Minnesota and everything is on a stick. So frozen cheesecake on a stick, like checks all of the boxes right there.
Corn dog on a stick, banana on a stick. Yeah. The frozen cheesecake on a stick, I was really unsure, but it's not big. Like it's a pretty small little like wedge of cheesecake, and it's cold. Like it's really cold, and it's like dipped. Like the one that I had was like dipped in chocolate, and it was really good. They have a s'mores one, and they had another one that I tried. But the cheesecake's on a stick. Recommend. Here's my hot tip for Songbird Fruit. So Songbird Fruit does peaches out of Sun Prairie, I believe. They do a savory peach thing, and they do a sweet peach thing. Do not get the savory peach thing. It's not good. It's just not good. But the sweet peach thing, do get the sweet peach thing. That's like basically a peach cobbler kind of thing where it's just fresh peach, vanilla ice cream, and like a little bit of a crumble on there. And I think there's caramel sauce too. That's delicious. It is totally straightforward. I am pro using peaches for savory applications, just not this one.
You heard it here first. Stay away from the savory peaches, but get in on the sweet stuff. I'm curious too, are there any other like trends you've noticed when it comes to this year's Taste of Madison offerings?
Yeah, I mean, I will say I'm going a little bit off of this year and off of last year. Last year, the thing that like flagged for me was how like there was a massive line for freeze-dried candy.
Sure.
Have you had freeze-dried candy?
I haven't. I don't think I have, honestly. I cannot even conjure up an image of what this would look like in my mind.
We do need Rob Thomas on the beat for this one, because Rob Thomas will tell us whether freeze-dried candy is good. I just, the line was really long, and I was like, I don't understand what's going on here. That seems to be a thing. They're coming back this year. I feel like there's more Filipino food this year than I noticed last year. I just had Canto Fiesta for the first time a couple of weeks ago, and they're a delightful new food cart. They're doing lumpia, which are those like, they look like little cigars, you know? They're
like the
skinny
cigar
egg
rolls.
Yeah. They're really good. They also do some adobo. I think they do pancit. They do a bunch of different delicious things, but they are coming. And then Halo Halo is also coming and doing Filipino food. So a little bit more Filipino food, more African food, so that we have established African vendors in Madison, like Kerfatu has been around since 2017. They do this wonderful chicken yassa with vermicelli, which is,
Ooh.
yeah, it's really good. And it's one that I sort of break my festival rule of like, I don't like stewy heavy things.
But this one's worth it.
This one's worth it, and it's not that stewy, and it's not that heavy. Like, so I guess it's not that much of a breaking of the rule, but like anything that feels like, anything that feels like stew or like a fall dish, I kind of stay away from. I try to eat very seasonally, like because of what my body feels like, what I feel like eating, which is not to say that everybody has to do that. Of course not. You can eat whatever you want, whenever you want. But I noticed the Smiling Coast is from the Gambia is coming this year. La Delista Awa from Ivory Coast will be there. Chez Moi is Togolese. So lots of African options this year. Kind of fun. Madison's food scene is dominated by tavern culture, like empirically.
Yeah.
Right?
How did
Yeah.
that happen?
Yeah.
Cheese,
Which is-
beer, say less.
Yeah. And that is just it's a true thing. We love to talk about how many different options we have for a city this size, and we do, but it is dominated by tavern culture. I noted 4 places for empanadas at the Taste of Madison, 4 varieties of curry, and then 7 places to get cheese curds.
Okay. Yeah, that math is mathing.
Right? So curd girl, old fashioned, I wouldn't even rank between the two of them. Just get whichever one is closest. They're both so good. I do feel like more and more places are catching on to what dishes work and what dishes don't. So we have less of that stewy stuff. There is a little bit of jambalaya here and there, but like not a lot of stewy stuff, and less stunt food and more like legitimately delicious things. Although we do still have like peanut butter cold brew and deep fried Oreos and like an open-faced pork funnel cake. So there's still some of that happening.
But that to me, it's like less like TikTok trendy food and more like you're at a state fair sort of situation or like county fair. That stuff is up there with a corn dog for me.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, a deep fried Oreo, I'm not going to say no to that probably.
Right. Absolutely.
I did want to shout out some of the higher end sounding things that I'm curious about this year. So Draper Brothers is making duck fat fries.
Ooh, I feel like that's like a classy, like trashy sort of situation, right? It's fries, but duck fat makes it classy.
It feels very Canadian kind of to me. I don't know why. I don't know why I associate duck fat fries with Canada, but I kind of do. The Post is doing a Door County Cherry Crisp, which sounds delicious. And then Nema's World Tour is making a Spanish gazpacho with grilled shrimp.
Oh my God.
I mean, that doesn't feel like fair food at all. It feels like I'm out to a nice dinner food.
I love all of those words. Yeah, that is beautiful. Okay, so Lindsay, I know you are a Taste of Madison veteran. You have done this dance before. And to get all of this cleared up, Taste of Madison, it's a free event. You are paying for your food. So you got to plan. You got to know, how are you going to budget? How are you going to spend your time, your cash, and your stomach space wisely? What is your secret to having a successful day of food at Taste?
So I think the weather is a big factor. Last year, it was very, very hot. So I would have said if it was going to be like that this year, again, bring sunscreen. I will be wearing sunscreen anyway because I'm pale. But
Same.
Yeah, right. So it's sunscreen. Hydration is key. Bring water. I like to have a place like that I can go back to and sit. So especially if you go with friends, which is another tip that I have, is go with other people. Lay a blanket out and have a place that you can all come back to with your food so you can share. I went solo last year because my husband was like, I'm not doing it this year. So I went solo and I got these incredible sour cream donuts at Lombardino's, and I had like 4 beignets, and I'm sending photos like, I have too many donuts, help me.
That's so real, though, because I went to Spain over the summer, and it was a solo trip that wasn't supposed to be a solo trip. But, we did our little eat, pray, love moment, and I had a great time. But Spain, you're eating a bunch of tapas, small foods, just like Taste of Madison. And it's really hard to do tapas for one. It's really hard to do Taste of Madison by yourself.
Exactly right. It's like going to a pizza place by yourself. Like, unless they're doing by the slice, it's just not for you,
Sharing is caring, especially when it comes to food. That's my motto.
Yeah, I always go to Natural Juice and I get a berry blast smoothie. They have a mango one too. Their smoothies have like Orange Julius vibes, and I am a child of the 90s, and so that really speaks to me. I love getting a smoothie, especially like after I've had my first few savory things. and get like a smoothie. And it's so rejuvenating and it tastes so good. I do, as mentioned, tend to avoid things that feel heavy. So I don't care how good the mac and cheese is. I'm probably not doing the mac and cheese. It just doesn't feel like the vibe to me. It is challenging, though, to be a vegetarian at an event like this. And you'd have to be very deliberate, I think, because you can find like tofu and noodles, and you can find a couple like things like spring rolls here and there. But otherwise, you're going to get a lot of fried stuff and desserts if you're vegetarian. So I think having a plan going in is key for that. I also don't love dealing with cash at a food event like this because of the constant need to then sanitize my hands.
Sure.
Right? And I do it anyway a little bit, right? But using a card, everybody takes cards pretty much. I can't remember anybody who was just doing cash last year, but maybe I just didn't go to them. But it's like everybody has like a card where you can tap.
I love the tap to pay. So good, because then if you can tap, you can also use your phone if you have like Apple Pay or Google Pay set up. This is not an advertisement, but I have just discovered the joy of paying with my phone recently.
It's nice, right? And it means that you're handling less things. So I like a card situation. I think people often will go to Taste of Madison not only for the food. There's music. I never really paid too much attention to the music. It's an area I don't know a lot about. But there are concerts kind of happening the whole time, and that's pretty fun. So if you want to like make a day plan and like look and see who's playing, I have not looked to see who's playing, but I encourage you to do so.
Hey, animal lovers! Your favorite team needs you to cheer them on at Bark and Wine Tailgate on Saturday, September 27th at Dane County Humane Society. From 3 to 6 p.m., join in the tailgate spirit with delicious food, refreshing drinks, tail-wagging games, a silent auction, and plenty of furry fun for a great cause. Plus, you'll get to meet some amazing animal greeters who will make the day unforgettable. Want more? Grab VIP pregame tickets to enjoy early access and other special perks. Can't wait for the event? The Donate to Vote Showdown is on. Every dollar you donate to cheer for your favorite animal team, cat, dog, wildlife, or critter, counts as one vote to crown this year's champion. Plus, your donation supports animals in our community. Last year, Team Cat clawed their way to the top, but who will win this tailgate rematch? That's up to you. Get your tickets today and start casting your votes now at giveshelter.org/BW. Remember that amazing little cafe you discovered last summer with the perfect latte and crazy view? Or that sweet hiking spot your friend told you about but you can't remember the name? With Overlook Maps, special places never get lost again. Create personal lists of places you've been and want to go. Build your must-visit list for your next vacation, your foodie favorites for date nights, or your weekend getaways when you need to escape. Share your favorite hidden gems with friends and family. Let them discover that incredible barbecue joint you found, or that scenic overlook that takes your breath away. Or keep your secret spots completely private. Planning a trip with friends? Create a shared list where everyone can add their ideas. Visiting a new city? Check out lists from locals who know the real gems, not just the tourist traps. And here's the best part. No ads cluttering your lists. No one selling your data to advertisers. Just your personal collection of amazing places organized exactly how you want them. Overlook Maps, collect, organize, and share the places that matter to you. Download free at overlookmaps.com and check out overlookmaps.com/Madison to see some of our lists and great spots on a map and in your pocket. Your places, your way.
As I mentioned, you are a Taste of Madison veteran, and from what you've told me, it seems like this event, it hasn't always been a well-oiled machine that folks know it as today. Can you give us, for lack of a better word, a bit of a taste of its earlier days?
So I actually went back to see if I'd taken notes, like back in 2009, I think was the first time I went to the Taste of Taste. And it was like in a hotel conference room kind of thing, or ballroom conference room on like the south side of Madison. And it was like pizza chains and fried stuff and then like stunt food. And I gotta say, like, especially when people who like love food and were into food, it had a terrible reputation.
Really?
Oh, God, yeah. Because it wasn't good. Like, it was chains, like a lot of national chains. And it was like food that doesn't hold up well. So, like, who wants to go to Taste of Madison and get a slice of pizza? Like, no offense to pizza. It's fine. But, like, that's not why you would want to go, I don't think. And in recent years, like the past 5 to 7-ish, they really have started leaning into smaller vendors, local entrepreneurs. They've changed a bunch. And I think, honestly, it tracks with the explosion that we've had, like in the past 15, 20 years of food carts. And food carts are a going business in Madison. You can have a food cart and you can launch a brick and mortar. You can have a food cart and you can open like 2 more food carts. Like, there are businesses that have been able to build like wholesale businesses and other things, like Mango Man, Tony Clark, right? He's got his sauces, and Bonzo has a, brick and mortar location. There are all these places that have really built their businesses in an entrepreneurial way, and Taste of Madison has clocked that and brought some of those folks in.
Yeah, so it really seems like this is a way to sort of democratize the process and, as we mentioned at the top, just give people the opportunity to taste from these businesses that they wouldn't normally be able to frequent, which is, I think, just a really awesome opportunity all around. And as you've mentioned, it's just such a diverse offering that we have that you don't always see around Madison because we are awash in taverns. But I'm kind of curious, too, if you think that maybe the way in which Taste and has grown and matured as an event is also sort of a reflection on Madison's food scene. You've mentioned the explosion of food carts all around. And, Madison hasn't always been known for our specific restaurant offerings. But it seems like these days people know that Madisonians are really serious about the food culture here.
Yeah, I think that Taste of Madison has smartly adapted to what people actually want to try. And it's challenging to make a high-profile culinary event in Madison for a variety of reasons. One of which is that restaurants themselves have really small margins, and it's hard to ask them to do one more thing. You go into any sort of neighborhood restaurant and they're supporting the Little League and they're like giving gift cards to the elementary school and they're doing all of these things all the time. Restaurants are such community engines, but they also don't have super high margins. And so it can be tough to be like, no, like give us some of your staff and, make some small plates for this weekend event. But, there are also places that can make you can make a lot of money at Taste of Madison. Like, there's tens of thousands of people who go, right? It's a huge event. And so it can really be a great way to get your name out as a business. But I think Taste of Madison had to be deliberate in seeking out those entrepreneurs and making avenues for especially the ones who are just getting started to be a part of this event. And I think they've done a really good job doing that.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, we love Taste of Madison. Again, coming up this weekend, August 30th and 31st. And weather woman Lindsay says it's going to be beautiful outside. Don't hate her if it's not. She's just the messenger.
I'm crossing my fingers, like, please let it be pretty. It says it's going to be on the weather.gov.
I believe you. I believe it. All right. So we have had our fill of Taste of Madison, and there are still a few other festivals coming up around the summer that folks should be excited about. Another one happening this weekend, August 29th through 31st, is Orton Park Festival happening in Orton Park. Lindsay, who's coming to that festival that you're excited about food-wise?
I'm really excited about Cern Sap because I have not been to Cern Sap yet. It's a new Laotian restaurant on Willie Street.
Brand new, right?
Yeah, brand new, like doing breakfast and lunch. So I'm pumped that they're going to be there. I always love to see Sin City Smash.
Yes. They are so, so good. And of course, the folks who run that amazing, the Big Purple Food Truck Monster have been on the podcast. We do love them.
Yeah, friend of the pod. They do actually a delicious veggie burger that I get.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I really love their veggie burger.
I love that. I just had their smash burger for the first time not that long ago when we were over at Magic Pride Fest. And it was the burger churro combination that I was like, I get it. I really do get it now.
It's great. I always like to go by Cafe Costa Rica. I love whatever Tony's doing. It's just always delicious. And I love the sauces. But yeah, there are going to be a bunch of places there that are also at Taste of Madison. So Chocolate Shop Ice Cream will be there. Curd Girl will be there as well. So it's going to be some
Classics.
Good stuff. Yeah.
Love that. Love that. Yeah, I do love Cafe Costa Rica as well. Those sauces are so, so good.
Oh, and I also wanted to mention, apparently Rotunda Cafe is going to do breakfast burritos and egg sandwiches during the jazz brunch at Orton Park.
Oh, Oh, fun. Okay. Well, that sounds like a cute little classy jazz breakfast brunch moment. And, staying on the east side, later in the season, we have the Willie Street Fair. This is kind of the festival that closes out the summer, happening September 20th and 21st. It's going to be weird. It's going to be fun. I know we don't have a full food lineup for this event yet, but Lindsay, is there anything that you're excited about in terms of the food scene happening over on Willie Street? We've seen some changes over there recently.
Yeah, so starting with the festival, with the Willie Street Fair, Fine Thailand will be there. It's basically the food cart version of Monsoon Siam.
Oh,
so
awesome.
I love their pad see ew. That's like the stir-fried noodles. That's usually what I get. But I feel like I go to that cart every single time I go to the Willie Street Fair and Atwood Fest. Any time that they're out, I'm like, I have to go.
If they're out, Lindsay will be there.
I will be there. And same thing with like my favorite thing from Concert on the Square is Caracas Arepas.
Yes.
And they're going to be at Willie Street Fair too. My favorite arepa that they do is the Reina Pepiada, which is chicken salad.
Oh, okay.
Delicious. And got avocado in there too, of course. And you got that lovely green sauce. But Caracas Arepas is going to be there. I mentioned Cafe Costa Rica is going to be there as well. I love, if I'm at Willie Street Fair, I like to get kettle corn. I love the kettle corn vibe. It's really fun. And I always there are things that I always do at the Willie Street Fair. And one of them also, which is not food related, but is great, is they have that table of all of the cool T-shirts that are printed like right nearby. And I've gotten just such cool, fun, whimsical shirts. And for not very much money, they just have this massive table full of like fun T-shirts. And I have tons of them.
That.
Yeah.
Art, food, fair, festival. Sounds weird. Sounds like Willie Street, honestly.
Yeah. Willie Street has got some fun stuff happening. Amma is a newish kind of Nepalese spot.
They're kind of like hidden. They're like pushed back from the street, right?
Yeah. Like near where Taco Local used to be, which is going to be the Ahan bar.
Yes.
They're like back behind Taco Local. I think there's like Mad Rabbit vegan spot that's like right there too.
There's a lot of stuff going on in the Willie Street area. And then, we have our classics like Gramps and Gibbs, we
Yes.
love.
I love Grandpa's and I love Gibbs. I love the vibe, especially this time of year. At Grandpa's Pizzeria, they have that gorgeous garden out back. So if you go before dark, it's just beautiful. And there's all these like edible flowers and they put them in the food. And it's just really, really pretty. Also, not quite Willie, but like nearby, Level 5 has a new donut shop over on Atwood.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You can bet we love Level 5. Our very own newsletter editor, Rob Thomas, he brought some donuts to our recent Friday News Roundup recording.
As he should. As he should. That is his role. DOUGHNUT. Donut.
He's our donut man.
Donut man. He and I used to argue all the time about it, whether it's D-O-N-U-T or dough nut. And of course, I'm right.
And you are team like dough,
donut, because that's AP style. I'm just saying.
Is it really?
It is.
Honestly, you learn something new every day.
It's true.
I love that. All right. Well, we're closing out this summer, moving over to the west side. September 13th is the Monroe Street Neighborhood Festival. And I don't know about you, Lindsay, but it feels like to me the restaurant scene on Monroe Street has seriously popped off. Some of the best restaurants in town, in my opinion. Pizza Bruta, Lalonde, Fairchild, and now they have an Alimentari over there. The list goes on. So what can folks look forward to at the festival and also just kind of in that area in general?
Yeah, so some of the restaurants that are over there are going to be doing things, I think, in front of their businesses. So Pizza Bruta will have a pizza oven out in front of Barrique's, it sounds like. Kettle Black Kitchen, which is under new ownership as of about a year ago or so. I've been meaning to get over there to try it, but I've heard really good things. They're going to be doing some festival specials. I don't know what they are, but worth checking out. I love Bloom Bake Shop, always and forever. They're going to have a Bloom bus selling seasonal pastries and things. I mean, the sweet potato donut is iconic.
Ooh,
Donut is iconic.
Dough.
Yeah.
Can't leave it.
Yeah, I can't. But they're so good. And I went there with my mom a couple of months ago and we just like ordered like a bunch of different things. And they're so wonderfully consistent. I do think that's another one where like go to the festival with a friend and share stuff.
Again, food, festivals, friendship, it all comes together, people, right?
It really
Can't have one
does.
without the other.
I would be excited if I was going over to Monroe Street to try Fireside, which is that new Jamaican place where Taverna Tacos and Tequila used to be for like a year. Fireside opened just a few months ago, I believe. And they were originally in the Dells, and they're doing Jamaican-style cuisine there. And then I have not tried the new version of Miko Poke, which is Highway 1. I am sort of notoriously cool on the whole everything in a bowl concept that has dominated us for years.
Bowl City.
It's just everything in a bowl. And you're like, what is with the sad bowls? But, I will totally give it a shot.
But we do love chocolate chop ice cream in a bowl. Why not?
True. I would rather have it in a cone, but yes, love it. There are some places too over on that side of town. Like I love Madison Chocolate Company. They are so incredible. And Gates and Brovey has totally grown on me. The first time I went to Gates and Brovey, like right after they'd opened, I reviewed it. And there were just like small children running everywhere. And I was like, oh gosh, this is a lot of energy. I feel stressed. But like going back, it's not always like that. It can be much more chill. And the food is delicious. Like it's nice. Gates and Brovey is chill. I like it.
I drive past them all the time because the vet that I go to over there for Ozzy, who you heard on the podcast, goes there. And I've always wondered what the vibe is like inside.
Yeah. There's some cool spots over there. There's a new Mexican place that's like near the Camp Randall. So there's all kinds of neat options all the time over on Monroe Street.
I love it. Awesome. So there are so many good eats to look forward to at all of these upcoming festivals. Lindsay, is there anything else that we're missing? Is there anything else people need to be looking out for as we wrap up this summer festival season here in Madison?
I would just say if your eyes are a little bigger than your stomach, it's okay. Like this is when that is okay. And it's also why to bring a friend, back to that. But if you order a little more and you try a few more things, this is the best place to try something new as a festival.
And no matter what, you're supporting local. So it's beautiful.
Yes.
All right. Well, Lindsay, thank you so much for joining us on the podcast here today. This has been a blast, as always.
Thank you for having me. This is really fun.
That's Lindsay Christians, food and culture editor at the Cap Times. That's all for today here on CityCast Madison. I'm executive producer Haley Sperling in for Bianca Martin. Don't forget, you can support this show and get great perks by becoming a CityCast Madison neighbor at membership.citycast.fm. If you enjoyed today's show, why not share this episode with someone who knows how to eat like a local? We'll be back tomorrow morning with more stories from around the city. Until next time, stay hungry, Madison. Oh, sorry.
Ozzy.
Ozzy's on the podcast. Okay.
He's an agent of chaos.
He is.